Hey y'all, Stacie Shea here, host of The Hash with Stacie Shea. Up for my daily rant. I've got a YouTube channel, you can catch past rants. The Hash with Stacie Shea. Go like it, subscribe to it. I also have this Facebook page. Like and follow it as well. And tune in on Friday at 8 p.m. So my rant for today is unrelated to anything Friday related, but I watched something on TV again today, and I realized that the same narrative that has been sold to us is repeating itself. The same narrative from the 60s when the Democrats switched to Republicans and all that good stuff was going on. The system has literally been creating crimes and fabricating criminality, and it touts exceptions as the rule when it comes to things that happen, and that is not new. If you look through history, it has happened over and over again, pointedly. I don't want to repeat again. I don't want to fail. We're going to have to do something different if we want to have a different outcome. You know, it's time for us to correct this ship. I've got some thoughts and feelings about corporate bailouts. I feel like we citizens need to be bailing out corporations at all. It is directly in our, not in our best interest. When you consider that corporations are members of organizations such as ALEC, that's the American Legislative Exchange Council, and those people get votes in our legislation. Major members of those things are private prison owners, and since 1983. And those bills that ALEC pushed were part of the 3 strikes you're out thing, part of the mandatory minimum sentences, part of the stop and frisk stuff, where they could just, if they have any kind of a whim or an inkling, they can pull somebody over and search them or whatever. And then of course there's increased criminality of certain demographics, because certain demographics are just inherently more suspicious and criminal, of course, right? No, that's false, but the numbers are skewed because of how it operates, and because of the purpose of it. Keeping people incarcerated for economic reasons. The ALEC runs our government. The privatized prison corporations are a part of that. They push legislation that keeps their prisons full. They push bills that get quotas for these prisons, so that those prisons have to stay full. So no, we don't need to be bailing out any businesses, because those businesses are working against us. They're working against us behind the scenes. These major corporations. Now, support small business all day. Please support small business, support local business. I don't think our tax dollars should go to bailing out corporations that are writing legislation that are deliberately imprisoning us. I wrote a thing. It's not that thing. It's a different thing. But I wrote this a year or so ago, and I'm going to read it. Get off it. Yeah. I've done a lot of research into the prison industrial complex and the treatment industrial complex. I know that if they had to pay those people, those jobs would go to people on the outside, because once society realizes that it's not immigrants taking jobs but incarcerated people, they wouldn't stand for those jobs staying in the prison factory systems. This is one spot where 45 supporters would be incredibly instrumental in positive societal change. This is just my humble opinion, of course, but at any rate, the 13th Amendment needs to be amended from Section 1. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Section 2, Congress shall have power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. What it needs to read as, This is what the 13th Amendment needs to be amended to. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Section 2. Congress shall have power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. If they do that, if we do that, the prison industrial complex will be forced to pay these people whatever the standard living minimum wage is, and they won't do it. They won't do it. It will break down on its own. They'll get out of that business so quick. And then the next thing we got to tackle, of course, is the detention centers, because we need to get those babies out of cages, and psychiatric facilities, and state-supported, or places like state-supported living centers, where vulnerable people are kept as commodities. We need to do away with everything that looks like that. Peace be.